Hello, Alex at 814EDC tagged me in a video. Wanted to see my most sentimental knives. So that's what this video is, a response video to the tag video. Check out Alex's channel, 814EDC. I'll leave a link in the description to his channel. I'll also give a shout out to Corey at Stafford's EDC. He's already been tagged, but I'll tag him again, or at the very least just give him a shout out. I'll leave a link to Corey's channel in the description. I'll also give a shout out to Gideon Stuff. Gideon actually did a most sentimental knives video a couple months ago, before these channels started tagging each other. So he did it before it was the cool thing to do. He actually did it as an open tag, and I don't think anyone responded to it. So like, great job guys for paying attention. But anyways, I'll do an open tag with this as well. So if you have a channel and you're watching this and you haven't made this video yet and you want to, go ahead. Feel free to feel tagged and keep this video tag going. I'm still not feeling real great, so if you think if I sound a little groggy, that's why. So let's just get into these videos, into these knives. So that it's not like a 6-hour video. So there's different levels of sentimentality when it comes to knives. There are knives that I got as gifts, like this QSP worker from my wife. There's also the Scoria, the CJRB Scoria from Gideon Stuff. There's also, those are special to me because they're gifts. They'll always be in the collection. But there's also the specialness of like your first knife. This is the first knife I bought myself. The Sogfielder XL. Got it at good old Crappy Tire. Yeah. And then there's also my first premium knife. Oh, the detent on that. Kaiser Ursa Minor. It's my first premium knife. So yeah, there's the firsts. Those mean a lot to me because those are the firsts. And then we're into the more like, what else do I have here? Why do I have so many knives? I'm not even talking about them. There's under here. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, let me clean up some knives off my lap here, and we'll talk about others. So I've got this fixed blade that belonged to my grandfather. It means a lot. I never saw him use it, but it's cool that it was his. I've got this lockback knife, Browning knife. It's been well used, sharpened quite a bit. So my dad bought this knife for my grandfather. My grandfather carried it and used it and hunted and whatever. He used it quite a bit. And then he gave it back to my father, and then my father gave it to me. So it's been in quite a few people's pockets. So that means a lot too. And I know it's kind of rushed. I think I already talked about this though, to a certain extent, so I don't need to go into a whole lot of detail. But that means a lot because when I look at that knife, I think of my grandfather and I think of my father. My grandfather has passed, but my father's still alive. So, what else did I got? Oh yeah, they're here in my pocket. I'm looking for them. They're in my pocket. Okay, so next I talked about this knife quite a bit as well. It's the Smock, the Spyderco Smock. I'll give just a quick, I did a whole video on this, but I'll just give a quick recap of it. Slicey Dicey did charity auction. It was me and another guy. We got to a point where I was like, okay, he can have it. It's getting too rich for my blood. He can have it. So I stopped bidding, and Slicey was running the auction until like the end of the live stream. So we got to the last 10 minutes of the stream, the last 10 minutes of the auction, and the guy with the highest bid said, my wife's going to kill me, or his girlfriend or whatever is going to kill me. I have to remove my bid. I was the next highest bidder, so obviously, that went to my bid. Now, at the end of the stream, the guys that donated this knife to Slicey's channel, Southern Edge Knife Works, haven't heard from them in quite a while. But anyways, they're good dudes. I always like buying knives from them. They said it hadn't quite met the threshold they were hoping to get. They were hoping to get like $250, I think. So they said, we're going to bid $250 and just give the knife to Sharpened Blade. So that's how I got this. So I posted a picture on Instagram of the knife. And then Kevin Smock reached out and said, hey, I like that story. I'll do you one better. So then he sent me these G10 scales for the Smock. Now I had these on the Smock for quite a while. I just switched them back to the regular scales because I just wanted to switch it up a bit. But yeah, I really appreciated Kevin sending me these. So that's another level of sentimentality to it. It's a really cool story. But beyond just winning the knife, it reminds me, when I look at this knife, it reminds me of Slicey Dicey. Now I know that's kind of a controversial topic among some people, but I always liked Slicey. Brian, Slicey Dicey's real name, Brian, had a Discord, and there's a few of us that would go on the Discord, and then we would all have like a group chat, and we'd watch these like really crappy movies. So it was just, you know, we'd spend 2 or 3 hours hanging out in the Discord watching crappy movies, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, I got this for free, and that's cool, but also it reminds me of the fun times I had with Brian and the other guys in the Discord. But yeah, it's a very sentimental knife because of those memories. The most sentimental knife I have in my collection is the Spyderco Para 3. That's funny that I have 2 Spydercos that are my sentimental knives. I just noticed that now. But this is, yeah, the reason why this is the most sentimental knife in my collection is because I bought this on my honeymoon. We went to Nova Scotia. I live in New Brunswick. We went to Nova Scotia for the honeymoon because Nova Scotia is a beautiful province. If you haven't been to Nova Scotia, you should go to Nova Scotia, especially along the southern coast of Nova Scotia. Really nice spot. I could talk about that for hours. I won't today, but yeah, it's a really nice spot. So we went there for the honeymoon, and we stopped in Halifax, and we went to Atlantic Knives. And I'll leave a link to Atlantic Knives' website because I mentioned in the video. I might as well leave a link to his website. So I'll leave a link to Atlantic Knives' website. Jason's a solid dude. He has Vero knives and all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't think there's any Vero knives in stock right now, but he's a distributor for them in Canada. So anyways, check out the links. Check him out. He's also on Instagram, so I might as well leave a link to that too, if I remember. So yeah, I bought this on my honeymoon. So that's, whenever I look at this, I think of my honeymoon, and then I think of all the memories. Like, we went to, I'll just talk a little bit here because I kind of rushed through everything else. We went to White Point. It's like a resort, and it's by the ocean. And I just remember one of my fondest memories was, I don't know if I had this in pocket at the time or if I was afraid of losing it, so I might have just had it like stowed away in my luggage. I can't remember, but I just remember we were walking along the beach, and my wife and I were walking along the beach, and we came. It was getting close to dark, and by the time we got back to the resort, it had gotten dark, and they started making these these fires. They started these fires, these little bonfires, and they're roasting marshmallows and stuff. And then they had hired an author to come and read ghost stories to us. He was a local author, so they got him. I don't know if they hired him or not, but they asked him to. They asked him to come, and he read us ghost stories, and it was really cool. It was just like a nice. I mean, it was very simple. I'm a pretty simple guy. It doesn't take much to entertain me, but it was really fun. And it was just like there's a whole bunch of us sitting around this campfire, and we were roasting marshmallows, making s'mores, and listening to an author read this ghost story. So, even now, just looking at this knife reminded me of that, and yeah, that's why it's the most sentimental knife in my collection. It's just there's a lot of memories tied to this. I don't carry it. I modified it. I got some aftermarket stuff for it. I bought some first I bought some natural micarta scales, and taking it apart, because Spyderco, I don't know if they still do or not, but they like to Loctite their screws. So it kind of messed it up, and the action's never been the same. It flicks open. It flicks open all right, but there's not much of a drop to it. So the action suffered, but it looks good. Now I since then have bought raindrop carbon fiber scales for it, and I have like bronze hardware. So I think it looks pretty cool. It's pretty pimpin'. But anyways, yeah, it's yeah, I like the knife, even though the action isn't the greatest on closing. At least it still flicks open, but it doesn't matter. I don't carry it. I just look at it, and it just brings up a lot of memories. Brings back a lot of memories for me. So, anyways, those are my most sentimental knives. I'm getting, it's about 17 minutes. That's about as long as I want to go. So, yeah, I kind of rushed through things. Why am I shaking? Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I kind of rushed through things quite a bit there, but I just wanted to make a quicker video. So, yeah, those are my most sentimental knives. Thanks for the tag, Alex. Like I say, there will be links to a bunch of stuff in the description, so make sure you check out the description. And thank you so much for watching. Take care.